Marcus, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest making a positive difference for yourself and humanity. One of her advocacy, and of course, an author too, and the author of the book. Humanity's cry for change, no other than Miss Kate Heartsong.
You, Daniel. It's so wonderful to be here. I appreciate you inviting me.
Welcome, Miss Kate, on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
I'm sorry I didn't hear you. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Yes, so can you please invite our listeners to, no, please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Oh, thank you. I certainly will. I am so honored to be a messenger of some very important information that is really helping and supporting a lot of people. And I never saw myself as an author before. Many, many years ago, probably about 25 years ago now, when I was in deep meditation, I had this beautiful words coming through me that I realized was guidance from my spirit guides. And so I took a pen and paper and started writing word for word. It was so beautiful. And then in time, the I received more information that gave me an insight, and I thought this information is so helpful for so many people, not just for me. And that's what guided me to start writing books. So I had my first book published in 2010. And then my most recent book here, Humanity's Cry for Change, is the creative process of my writing through there. I am also a public speaker. I'm very passionate about helping people to know that although the world seems very chaotic, and it is, and there's so much change, all of this is actually not random chaos. There's a higher purpose for what's happening. So I speak, that's one of my main topics. I also talk about self confidence. I'm also a certified life coach and a certified financial coach. So it brings me a lot of joy to be able to support people in recognizing what's really going on the planet and how they can better navigate. And one more thing, Daniel, I'd like to share is, I wasn't always this confident or being able to do podcasts or public speaking. I used to be super shy and I had low self esteem because, like a lot of people, I had a traumatic childhood. And part of that was I lost most of my hearing when I was 2 years old. And it was as a result of me being a curious toddler. I actually fell out of a window 1.5 stories high. And as
Mm,
a result, I lost most of my hearing. But then that caused me to have low self esteem. But thankfully, I have hearing aids and I've been able to transcend that, which is really the reason I am so passionate about helping others to know it is truly possible to make positive change in our lives. I'm living proof.
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And Miss Kate, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So today let's talk about your humanity cry for change. What is all about?
Oh, thank you. Yes. Humanity's cry for change is, in essence, answering some very questions that so many people are asking. And it answers the question, for example, why are we going through so much upheaval and increased violence and economic uncertainty and all that throughout the world? And also for so many people, going through individual challenges. Why is it that this is happening? And I will share with you that the reason is because humanity is actually going through another evolutionary leap. We've gone through the age of, agricultural shifts so many thousands of years ago. And then we also went through an industrial revolution, changes and evolutionary shifts. Well, we're going through another one, but this one is a doozy. It's the biggest one ever. And there's a reason for it. It actually is not random chaos. So my book explains why this is happening. And it also offers very simple but yet very effective exercises that help people to better deal with and cope with these rapidly changing times. And there's also some key concepts shared in the book that describes key things that we individually and humanity need to do in order for us to survive as a species. We're at the 11th hour here on the planet, but there's a lot of hope, and the book gives a lot of hope. And it also shares about what we can do not only individually, but there's a section on what you could do working with groups. And so it really covers a full spectrum of several things. And it's giving people hope and tangible, practical things that they can do to really navigate these times so that they're not as anxious. It's helping, like I give talks on the book, and it's helping people to calm down and have a little less stress because they know what's going on and they know how to cope with it.
Interesting, Miss Kate. And the title begins with humanity's cry for change. From your research and perspective, what is the essence of this collective cry? Is it the cry of justice, for meaning, for connection, or something else entirely?
Excellent question, Daniel. I believe, from my perspective, I believe it comes from the context of that particular person's life. So, and collectively, there are so many people who are so easily fall into having fear. And so they have a cry that they want peace. They want to feel better. They want relief from all of the challenges in life. Some people are not aware that, well, challenges help us to expand and grow. And unfortunately, Daniel, as you might know, so many people, I mean, it's just human behavior. Many people will not change if things are like going on really well, or, they're just going on with the life status quo, or, they're just kind of mundane. But until they're in great pain, they don't always take any action. So unfortunately, it takes deep pain, or it takes a huge challenge, or it takes the global upheaval to give people the impetus, the become a catalyst for them to move forward, to make change because they are in deep pain. And there is that cry. I think the reason depends on the person. I think you have a good question there. I think it just, for myself, I can answer the cry for me. I so desire to have peace. I so desire to see everyone on the planet to have joy and to have enough food and have shelter and have basic needs met. So that's my cry.
Miss Kate, what does the new Earth you envision look and feel like in practical, tangible terms? How would our daily lives, communities, and institutions to be different?
Another excellent question. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Our daily lives would be where there is far more collaboration and kindness, far more widespread kindness, and also respect towards people, towards animals, towards the Mother Earth. Everyday life, someone would be able to walk out on the streets and feel safe. People would feel so much more neighborly, and they would be much more inclined to help a stranger, because in the new earth, they would recognize and they would know and they live by the concept of oneness, which is recognizing that we're all interconnected. When we can recognize that we are interconnected, then we know that what we do to another, or what we say, or what we think about someone else actually has an impact on them. And so if we are kind and we know that whatever I do impacts another, we are much more inclined to be kind, because not only do we want to be kind to that person, but we also want to be kind to ourselves. Because again, it's that amazing concept. Everyone is a mirror to us. Everyone is interconnected. So how we think or act or show up has a ripple effect to those around us and to all of the collective consciousness, all of humanity. So in practical terms, it would allow people to recognize their greatness. And when they can recognize their own greatness, they see that better in another. Also, again, there would be a much more widespread kindness and loving and treating others with respect. So yeah, that there is some really practical ways that we can embrace and live in this new earth, where we can really be in a place of true peace, peace within us, which creates peace on the outside.
Peace. Peace be with you. Peace of us.
Oh,
I
thank
like
you.
that, Miss Kate. You speak of creating a new earth. How do you respond to those who feel this is idealistic concept given the deep-seated system of conflict and inequality we see in the world today?
Yes, it's difficult. It's easy for me to say what I say because I truly know it and believe it. But when a person is in a place of difficulty or fear and they're in survival mode, it's very difficult for them to switch over into thinking, oh, everything's just going to be fine. It's not easy. It's not like turning on a light switch. What needs to happen is, well, there's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of things people can do. But if they have a opportunity to shift, it's not easy to shift from, let's say, despair to feeling happy suddenly. But in fact, Esther Hicks, with her work with Abraham Hicks, Abraham is a collection of guides that speak through her. And they have said what really supports people in making a shift is taking small steps. Excuse me. And she calls it going up on the emotional guidance scale. The emotional guidance scale. So if a person is in despair, then it would help if they could go up into a state of, for example, anger, because that is a higher level than despair. And then from anger to move perhaps to another emotion like jealousy, or another emotion that is, I apologize, I can't think of another emotion that would follow it. But she's got this the emotions listed. But the point is that when we can go up on the emotional scale, slowly build up. The other thing that really, really helps, no matter where a person is at on their emotions, if they are in distress, the best thing, simple thing that they can do is to be in a place of gratitude, even for the simplest things. You know, they can have gratitude for having a place to sleep, or they could have gratitude for the friends and the support they receive, or the food that they have. There's so many things that we can be grateful for. One of the things I take for very grateful for is every single time I turn on my water faucet, water comes out. I am so blessed. Every time I need water, it's there. And that's not true for certain areas in the world.
Very true. And Miss Kate, as an author as well as a coach, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Oh, my short term goal as an author is to promote my book more so that it's available and that it can answer uh, people's questions about what's going on and how they can deal with it. And to do a little more marketing. I haven't done much marketing actually. True
Mhm.
confession. But that's my short-term goal. My long-term goal is if I am guided, if I feel like it's the best thing for me to do, I may write up another book. It'll be channeled, 'cause I know that I'm so honored to receive information that could help as many people as possible. So my long-term goal is to write another book if I am guided to do so. And my long-term goal for being a coach is my long-term goal as being a coach is to have a few more coaching clients, but to certainly to give them whatever they need so that they can have a better life. I'm known as a confidence coach. And I also am an intuitive empowerment coach. So I'm very, very honored to be supporting my clients. So my long-term goal is to continue to have clients to coach. My short-term goal is actually very similar to just give the very best I can to offer to support my clients in these challenging times and to help them to reach their goals in a way that is best for them. And, you know, that's the beauty of coaching is to help them to find the answers for them, for themselves, and then for myself to guide them and to support them and to encourage them to kind of be that cheerleader, as well as helping to uncover some really, for some clients, some issues. And in uncovering that, they can gain the clarity they need to then answer their own questions and create those goals that they can reach.
Well, good luck to your goals, Miss
Thank
Kate, and
you.
looking forward for more success. And
Thanks.
tell us what would be a piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you.
My advice, if you want to be like me, it depends on what you want to be regarding me. I would say I am a very heart-centered person with an incredible passion to make a difference to so many people. So, my advice to you, really, truly, number one, is to know the brilliance and the greatness of who you are. Indeed, when you can know yourself better and honor who you are, no matter where you are on your journey in life, this can help you cultivate confidence within you. You know, I certainly don't know all the participants here on your wonderful, wonderful podcast, Daniel. However, I do know this about each one of your audience members. Each one of you are magnificent and brilliant, and it's so important for you to do the best you can to harness that. This is what I was able to do. I transcended from great shame and low self-esteem, and I did a lot of personal work. So this is something I would recommend you do. If you need it, do the personal work so that you can overcome any negative false beliefs about yourself. So again, just recognize the greatness of who you are and know that each one of you have an incredible set of gifts and skills that you are here to share with others. So do the best you can to cherish yourself.
Well, thank you for that advice, Miss Kate. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
I'd love to recommend a book. I love this book that I've been reading recently and doing his work. It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called Becoming Supernatural. And I love this book because it really talks about the importance of recognizing that living in the present moment is the best thing to do. And through his exercises and his meditations, a person can help themselves to not be so attached by the past in their lives, like not to live in the past. Because when we live in the past, it helps us biologically and emotionally to stay in the past. And it's also best if we can focus on positive desires and the intention and imagine and visualize what our future could be. In this way, we can create a new future for ourselves and manifest what we want. It takes a lot of awareness and to live mindfully to be aware of how you talk to yourself and how you think or words that you say out loud and actions you take. That creates our future reality. So, Dr. Joe Dispenza in his book talks a lot about that, the importance of our self talk and also visualizing for the future.
Thank you for that recommended book, Miss Kate. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast law 101 and mental health 101, love letters in third season, and movie 101 review, music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Kate, looking forward, what gives you the most hope that this new Earth is not only a possible, but it's already emerging around us?
Excellent question again. What
Thank
gives
you.
me a lot of hope is I hear from people who are in the know that there are a lot of people waking up to understanding that we are all interconnected, and a lot of people waking up into and living in a place where they are doing their personal healing, their personal work. And in this helps them raise their vibration in that emotions, when you raise your vibration, allows you to be more in a place of love and peace and kindness. So this gives me a lot of hope. I also, from my book, I very, very much trust the guidance that I have received from my spirit guides. This is, channeling my book gives me so much hope. And also within myself, I have a certain knowing and certain intuition that although things seem really bleak, things have to break down before the new comes in. So for this reason, I am hopeful. So thanks for that question.
Yes, and Miss Kate Heartsong. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your books, your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear with the clapping there. What did you say? Ask me?
Yes, can you please invite our listeners to support your books, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do have I'd be grateful if anyone is interested in buying my book and doing a review and just supporting people to know what's going on the planet. And I would also, I have a YouTube channel called Kate Heartsong. If you'd like to go on there, there's some great videos. And if you would subscribe, that would help. I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, people support Miss Kate Hard Song because if you support her for
Thank you.
sure, more and more empowering books like this to come. So Miss Kate, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, and thank you. It's been such a joy and honor to be with you. And Daniel, thank you for all the good work you're doing. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Miss Kate. This all podcast is created for everybody who want to talk about their talents, like you. So Miss Kate, thank you so much for your time.
And thank you. Many blessings.
Many blessings likewise. More to come, people. See you soon.